Erik, you and I wrote a book called Machine Platform Crowd. How is this program a complement to the book?
Well, writing that book was such fun, but one of the things you can't convey in the printed page was the energy of being involved with the participants, talking to people. And this program is meant to be much more hands-on. It's not just passively reading, but it's doing. You know, right across the river there is Mass General Hospital, and they have a residency program. They don't just have their doctors to be sitting and reading papers. They have them actually doing the work that is needed to become a good doctor. By the same token, in this program, we want people to get their hands dirty and really work on projects to figure out how to solve the kinds of problems that we talk about in the book.
And to continue your doctor analogy, we want the participants in this program to do work that's relevant for their businesses, for their organization. So the assignments are geared that way. The overall homework for the program is geared that way. We don't want this to be a dry exercise at all. We want the participants to be thinking and acting in ways that will help out their organizations.
Exactly. If we learned anything from talking to those great cognitive scientists, you have to really act to understand things. You have to take an active participation in doing projects. It's multimodal, multimedia. It's not just written text, although there is plenty of that, but there's also active doing, and lots of research shows that's the way people learn how to absorb material. So Andy, who is this program important for and why?
I think there are two ideal groups of participants: those who want to disrupt and those who don't want to be disrupted. And what I mean by that is the content that you and I have developed here, we think is really appropriate for wannabe entrepreneurs in lots of different disciplines to see how this new era of machines, platforms, and crowds might let them do something different, might let them, to use an analogy, build an entirely different kind of factory now that electrification is here. We think this surge with digital technologies is as profound as the surge that came from electricity. Doing business in the old way is going to become a competitive handicap. Lots of entrepreneurs are going to come around and do a lot of disrupting. We want to give them a toolkit for that. At the same time, we also want to give managers and leaders and business people who are aware that disruption might be coming to their space, might be coming to their industry, a way to think through the forms that that might take, a way to make smart responses to that, and a way to head off the new kinds of competition, these pesky innovators and entrepreneurs who will come along. We want to make this battle between incumbents and upstarts a much more interesting battle, because we'll all benefit from that.
So we're arming both sides.
We are.
And the premise is that disruption is coming. One of the options that wasn't on your list was that to be sitting passively in an area where there was no disruption.
One group of participants who this program is not for are people who would rather just ignore the whole thing.
And let's face it, ignoring it is not an option. Disruption is coming. Just look around. We see disruption all around us. And if you want to understand what the drivers are of disruption, then this program is for you.
I think about this program as a field manual for the disruption that is absolutely coming, whether or not you want to be doing that or not having that done to you.
And you made the analogy to electricity. That took 30 years to play out. This time it's going to happen a lot faster, in part because there are people who are taking programs like this who are figuring out how to be the disruptors and how to speed that process along. Andy, what is it that excites you the most about this program?
I think about it as an accelerant. It's an accelerant for the ideas that you and I have come up with, the frameworks that we've put together, the opportunity that we had to take what we learned from the innovators and the entrepreneurs that we get to hang around with, the insights that we've got from our colleagues in economics who have done Nobel Prize winning work, put that together and get it out there on a platform that a crowd can tap into to make better use of the machines. So that ties together the three main things that you and I think are changing in this technologically sophisticated world. You and I have this great opportunity to, in a sense, put our money where our mouth is and try to accelerate the rate at which all of this knowledge gets out there and changes things.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, we believe in the power of digitization, so let's walk the walk and let's make digital versions of ourselves that can reach a much broader audience.
Instead of just doing this old-fashioned dead tree thing of writing a book.
The dead tree thing, or going and talking to people one by one or in small groups. We both want to change the world, and the faster we can reach more people through a program like this, the faster we're going to be able to change the world.
Erik, what do you want to achieve with this program?
My goal is to take chaos and turn it into clarity. We see so many amazing business models out there, but when you look at them bit by bit, helter-skelter, it doesn't seem like they make any sense. The good news is that there's an economic framework that underpins most of the successful strategies, and I want to try to convey that to as big an audience as possible. When we worked together, we came across so many brilliant minds that really had an answer for why some companies are giving stuff away for free, why some platforms succeed, why some crowdsourced solutions are better than others. And if we can share that with more people, I think they can kind of have the clarity and the aha insights that you and I had when we worked on these projects.
Yeah, I like that a lot. That phrase, convert chaos into clarity, is kind of what you and I are supposed to do for a living. So getting the chance to do that via this program is great. And if we do that work well, what my hope is that this program will accelerate the rate of innovation out there in the world. It will give more people, more businesses, more organizations tools to go change things for the better, to go iterate, to experiment, to move forward with these incredibly powerful machines, platforms, and crowds that exist now, and do some legitimately valuable things for people around the world.
It's physically painful to me when I watch companies make boneheaded decisions that are costing their stakeholders enormous amounts of money, and not just stockholders, but also their employees, their customers, even
the
their
communities where they're doing business, the planet that we live on.
That's right. And it doesn't have to be that way. And when you see people making that mistake and you know that there's a playbook that says that they can do it better, you just want to share that with them. And that will ultimately create the kind of pleasure that we get when we see successes happen. And we think that's within our reach.
I get this weird kind of selfish thrill whenever I come across, whether it's a new company or an innovation out there in the business world that I think is combining machines, platforms, and crowds in a really intelligent way. I want to have more of those cool thrills going for it. I want to have more, oh, that's fantastic moments.